What's up everybody, Pi Jirsa with srlounge.com. We have a quick little gear test in this video, and it's one that actually you all had requested. Now, we've been asked several times why we don't recommend or why we don't use Yongnuo flashes in the studio. And yes, Yongnuo is the correct pronunciation of the name. Well, I could pronounce it more accurately than that. But here we have the Yongnuo 563, and we actually tried these a while back and we couldn't get them to actually work well and work consistently with the PocketWizard Plus 3s. We actually ran into the same issue with the new one. We got the new one just so we could try it out because many of you asked us to try it out and see if it would work as a radio triggered flash. Now, while the flash is nice and it's cheap, and really I had all the hopes for this to work because it's only 75 bucks and it really works quite well aside from this, it still had the same issue that the previous generation flashes had as well, which is basically once you get beyond say 30, 40, 50 feet, it doesn't fire consistently. And that's what we're gonna show you here. So here's what I have. I have a Vivitar. Now this is the 285 HV. It's another flash that I don't really recommend, but it does actually fire consistently when it is working. This is a completely manual flash, really for our flashes. Most of us in the studio are using old Nikons, SB80s and so forth. This one, we have 15 of these left over and the partners didn't want them, so they gave them to me, so I use them. I have it set up to a PocketWizard Plus 3. This is on channel, let's check this out. We're on channel 18 and this is on 18B. This one's on 18A. I have my PocketWizard on camera here that's firing both 18A and B. That way, with both these on different channels, they're not going to basically pass a signal to one another. And we want to just test if one single signal is coming from the camera, is it going to fire both flashes consistently? So here we have the Yongnuo 563, and it's again connected to the PocketWizard Plus 3. Notice that we have placed the PocketWizards about a foot in distance between the flash head just to give it a little bit of extra oomph. If you can separate out a little bit, if the head pops off some radio interference, then separating it out will give you a little bit better range and so forth. So that's really it. We're gonna go ahead and just start testing now. And this isn't to say, by the way, that these won't work with like say a Photix trigger, the Odin. You know, I've heard people having good luck with the Yongnuos with say a radio popper or the Photix Odin. This is just with the PocketWizards. We're gonna show you what we kind of found. So you can see that it is working. I'm gonna go ahead and pop up a couple test shots. You can see both flashes are firing. The Yongnuo does go into sleep if it's not constantly being used, so both of them are working fine. Let's go ahead and we're gonna back up and fire as we go, and you'll see that it's gonna cut off once we get to a certain point. So let's start it up. All right, so I'm about 5 feet away. We're just gonna pop the flash and kind of just keep moving back. Both of them are working totally fine. Keep in mind that we are at 1/16 power settings on both of these flashes, so they're not gonna have any issues whatsoever as far as recycle time goes. All right, we're about 15 feet. So both of them are still working just fine. And this, by the way, is a much better situation. I mean, this is kind of an optimal situation really for using radios because we have nothing in between us and the actual radios themselves. Okay, here we go. 25 feet-ish. We're starting to have some sync issues as we fire. Okay, let's keep going. Looks like the Yongnuo missing probably about 30 to 40% of the shots right now. Now it's going consistent again. Yeah, because we people are made of, what, 90% water? Water does interfere actually with radio transmission. And so you will actually have a harder time getting these things to work on a dance floor. So that's why we need to make sure that they work pretty well, because this is an optimal situation on a dance floor at a wedding where you have lots of separation. Well, that is gonna be an even more challenging situation for these radios to actually connect and fire. Okay, so here we're getting close to around 40 feet right now from the flashes, maybe 50 feet. And the Yongnuo is down to about 50% accuracy. So the Vivitar is going totally fine. Okay, and right about here, we're at 60 feet right now and the Yongnuo has stopped firing completely. So Joe, go ahead and spin back and take a look at the distance. It's not really that far. We're 60 feet away. There we go, we got some pops. But if you're watching the video, you'll see that based on the shutter speed, or based on the shutter clicks, you're not seeing that Yongnuo fire very much. Right here, we're probably about 70 feet away. This is not a very far distance, by the way, when we're talking about the dance floor, because oftentimes in a dance floor in a ballroom, we're setting these up in corners of the room. So this is a very typical distance that we would be from our flashes. And at this distance, the Yongnuo is firing about 1 in every 10 shots. Okay, so unfortunately, with the new Yongnuo, it's still basically the same case. With this version 3, we still have issues getting PocketWizards to work consistently with them, especially once you get to around 30, 40, 50 feet, they just don't fire consistently enough for use. Now that isn't to say that you can't get them to work with, say, a Photix Odin or something else. We have heard people using them with radio poppers and Photix Odins and getting good results out of them. But with our system, it simply doesn't work. With these Pop Wizards, they don't fire consistently. So it's unfortunate because at 75 bucks, it's such a good deal. And I was really hoping that they would work because that's a steal for a new flash. But that is our conclusion for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed this little gear tip, and my name is Pi. I'll see you all in the next video.